Rips in the building.
What's going on, Ray?
I'm good, my brother. I'm so glad you was able to make it, because I messaged Marlon as well this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you've just joined us, this is the blueprint. We're running about 5-6 minutes late. We're going to go over to probably 7 minutes past 2. But you know, it's all live. We've got to get ready. We've got to park the car. We've got to find a venue. I give you one of the... and this is another thing, just before we do an intro, Rips. The whole thing about the blueprint that we've been doing this year, since I started it on Radar, and obviously then I stopped it and then we've come back, is I want to showcase and I want to present to people some of the unsung heroes of jungle, because I feel that this foundation was built and there's a lot of people out there, male and female, who haven't got the props and who were there at the very beginning. You were name checked last week. I don't know if you watched the Bellyman show. Bellyman was hailing you and shouting you out,
really?
going, "Yeah,
Bellyman."
Yeah, because he said, "Big up Rips," because we did 2 interviews with him, and he's such a character, and him and I have got a history.
Okay.
So
good one, I hope.
Yeah, of course. Always. Yeah, sometimes when you say that about a man, it's like, hang on a minute. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, there's a beef somewhere. No, but at the end of the day, he helped me to go live. When the internet first started to receive radio shows, obviously, at that time, I was doing it, and we were doing it digitally, as you was, and we weren't using Facebook, but we were using the internet on internet-based stations. So, and I was over there, and so was he over at Origin.
Okay.
And then when I started to do live stuff, and he showed me stuff, how, Ray, you need to set up your camera and you can actually talk to the people live. I was like, wow, this is a revelation. Like, this is amazing. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for coming on the show at short notice. Thank you for putting a lot of people on the map, because you were running... We'll come to the original and the history before, but one of the legacies that you left as well was you were running Worldwide Audio, right?
Drum and Bass Worldwide.
Drum and Bass Worldwide. Yeah. So that was one of the first radio internet stations going on the net. And how long ago was that?
2002 we started. February this year is 20 years that we've been
and is it still
live.
Going?
Still going.
And has it stopped, or has it started, or
it hasn't stopped? It's been going for the whole 20 years. It's had its ups and downs. I can remember, I don't know if you can remember this, that you played on the radio for me. We had a studio in Stratford next to, do you remember Club EQ?
Yeah.
We had a studio in that ground.
So was that something to do with Sting?
The radio wasn't to do with Sting, but I did some bits with Brett and Sting, because they're Telepathy boys.
Yeah.
And our studios were next door. His studio was in the club.
Okay.
And mine was in the building next to it.
Right.
Many years ago, and you came up and did
Now that's really mad that you should say that, because last week they were up here.
Who were?
Brett
and Sting. No shot. Someone said to me that someone mentioned his name to me
I was with
week.
Shabba on Saturday, and I went, because I love Shabba. You know, we all grew up together, and I want to get some jingles off of him. And I went, big man, it's really good to see you, because we did a set together. We obliterated that place. And then I went, there's some things popping, you know. I said, and also I am actually doing a documentary, because I know the book came out, and I wanted Brett and Sting in there, and I think it's really important that they are one of the first people, including when Andy was resident, myself and a handful of us that used to play for him, whether it was Marshgate Lane at the club or whether we moved on to EQ and or different places. And they were that was a very, very important time, Rips, do you know what I mean? Like, but there's lots to talk about, and then we're going to draw a little mix. Let's go right back, Rips. And the other connection is that we have, so I came to play on your station, was the tune that you made, Guillotine, is obviously one of my all-time favourite tunes. And I actually met my ex-wife with that tune.
Really?
So,
what?
Yeah, that's nuts. That is nuts, because I used to play in Picking Up Rugged Vinyl. What's the brother that used to...
Ben and Ray.
Huh?
Ben and Ray. They're the two.
What's happened to them?
You know what? I bumped into Ray over the Arsenal, big up the Gooners, over the Arsenal, a friend who sits in front of me always used to tell me he knows Ben and Ray and this and that. And then one Saturday, he's gone, look who's here. And it was, wow, it's seen you for, God knows how long.
If you've just joined us, it's The Blueprint. I'm gassed that Rips is here. This is Original Foundation. Talking about the old days, but that connection was that tune. I used to play that at Breakfast Club every morning at Busby's, and she used to come up and say to me, "What's that tune?" And I used to say it was too loud to be telling her whatever. And then she came in the shop and she asked me, and do you know what? This is the madness, right? How old is that tune now, brother?
What we talking? We're talking.
That wasn't it 92?
92?
92.
Yeah, 92.
So 1992. So that tune's nearly 30 years old.
Wow.
Right? And my daughter played Low Selector. She just started DJing a few months ago.
I saw a thing of her.
Yeah, and she played the tune in the dance because I've got a WAV of it. I managed to get one. And
he's doing better than me.
Boy, I can sort that out.
Yeah, please.
And do you know what? She played the tune and my ex-wife was there. All our family was there. It was a big day to see our youngest play. And she went to me because she drew it on her mum because I said, you need to play, if you get a chance, play this. They'll love it. And she played it and my ex-wife, Leanne, looked it up and she went, this tune, and I went, this tune's over 30 years old and she's drawing the tune. She was only 21 last week. So the legacy rolls on, even though Rugged Vinyl was disbanded, or is it disbanded, or they're doing a little... I followed their page, but nothing really was going on. Yeah. But let's go right back, Rips. When did you come into the whole thing? I mean, obviously you were making hardcore before the jungle era. So can you tell us a little bit about your history, your ends, where you came from?
From just loving everything from the Acid House. We had a little shop down in Chapel Market. Sunrise opened up a shop. So we used to go from the rave to the shop. And like you can imagine when you was in Black Market, start singing, da 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 da, the one that went like this, they played it. And we used to start getting the music from there. Bearing in mind, like I said to you, in the 80s, we were doing parties. So we just upgraded the parties. And I met a guy who had 12 tens and he used to do hip hop. So we brought him into the parties. So now we're doing a bit more acid house parties. And this guy's doing hip hop. And, because of doing the sound system, I met a couple of guys who had a warehouse. And I remember doing a massive warehouse. It flopped. it probably held about 2,000 people. We had about 150 people just on Commercial Road. And just because of always playing vinyl, I loved when I met this guy and he could do proper mixing on his decks. And I'm watching him in his house going, what? So I'm still mixing 7-inch reggae on his turntables. Ones with the same rhythm, so I'm still doing that for the parties. And that just slowly, as we started going out to the acid raves and leaving and coming back early hours of the morning, the reggae just slowly moved out of the way. And it was, like you say, it come to 91 and 92 and the break beats were coming into the house, but you had the 4 to the floor, but then you had the breaks coming in as well. And
how did you meet the guys from Rugged Vinyl? How did that work?
First of all,
because that tune was a big tune, bro.
That was
like a cornerstone in jungle and hardcore for me. And don't forget, that tune came about well before the jungle era, and it was the way that the breaks and the bass.
And I've got to give it to Jules. Jules was the main technician behind that track. When I met up with SMF, who we were called then, when I met up with them...
What does that stand for?
Now, I've had so many people guessing, right? Zinc said it stood for stiff middle finger. Right? One said it stood for small, medium fries. It was actually Sheer Music Factory. There was a record shop in Peckham, and it was called Sheer Music Factory. And that's where we used to be quite a lot. So we just called it SMF.
Wow.
And that was it. That was not a lot of, that's
probably a lot of people. I'm going to say something now. That tune, is that Frosty in the feed? Jumpy Jack Frost, is he here with us? God bless the Jumping Jack Frost, you know. And bigging up all the A-list and everyone else in the feed right now. We're taking it right back. That tune changed my life.
Really?
Yeah.
That much. Yeah.
And you see what I went on to do after that, but it was because of those tunes like that.
Wow.
Because when I heard that, brother, I played that in my car now. I could take you into my car ripping through the system.
I have to get the MP3. I haven't even got the vinyl copy.
What?
I haven't even, no.
I think I've got, because I played it on a white label the other day. I was playing with Fit. Me and Nicky went to Bristol, right? And Bricky, and I'll give you Bricky. And Nicky goes, oh yeah, I want to go and have a sandwich. I said, go and do what you're doing, brother. Let me start this thing off, right? So by the time he comes back now, I'm playing a vinyl set. Man's ears all like, he's feeling frustrated. You know that one? You know when he starts going like that because he's getting nervous, right? And he looked at me and the look was, geez, you're actually going in, right? And when he went up, when we came home and they phoned me afterwards, he went, you know what? Man was under pressure, you know? And I went, that's right. I said, that is right. I was drawing it on him. Do you know what I mean? Because we've done some back-to-backs before, and it's not about outdoing him, but what it is motivating him to go reach for them tunes.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
when you want to go and see like a Kenny or a Randall or a Frost or a Brian or a Groove or a Fab or a me, like back in the day on the tape packs. That's what. It was that ghetto drawing, man's. Oh my God, that dub play, and that was people's history. That was people what they grew up with. And I've got to get Frosty on here and Brian as well. It's nice. Do you know what I was thinking the other day, Rips? I know I'm throwing this out there. I would love to do an industry party at Ministry or something and just go through all the eras of like reggae, soul, hip hop, jazz, house, and then jungle, drum and bass, and actually get everyone to play for half an hour. Do you know what I'm saying? Or an hour, and just and it ain't about the money. It's just industry, and like bring your family, bring your friends, like a $5 to get in or a $10 to get in, just so it covers the bills, and everybody's happy and they've had a little drink, and that. I think that's what needs to go, because I feel sometimes the bigger the part, well, a lot under North London, West London. I didn't know it was all different sides.
See, you know,
I was coming from Essex. I was just happy to see coloured people, blood. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how it was. I was running away from skinheads in the week. So when I came to London, I was like, wow. And really, my identity. And probably you because you were brought up around a black community. It's not until I saw Soul Train that I thought, this is where I belong. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there wasn't anything on terrestrial TV apart from when that program came on, and you didn't really see people of colour. Maybe Lenny Henry. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't Trevor McDonald, bless him. No, but I'm saying,
that's true. Listen, even in the films back then,
Sidney Poitier,
paint
exactly,
white people black.
But you didn't see people, and obviously now it's changed. It's a different vibe. Picking up everybody that's joined us for the Blueprint. This is Rips. If you don't know Rips, he was part of the internet stations. He was signed to Rugged Vinyl. SMF made probably one of the biggest all-time, I would call it early jungle techno.
Early jungle,
yeah, jungle techno. And when I heard that, please, brethren, we've got to play that tune today, because whenever I hear it, it just sends me nuts. So tell us about meeting Ben from Rugged Vinyl.
Well, I bumped, like I say, I met up with an old friend called Mr. Psycho, and he was already SMF with my friend Jules, who go in as a Naughty. Okay. Naughty. So when I joined up with them, because I had the old Optimed, the old playing 4-channel, bloody making music on the 4 channels, and they had one. So when I met them, I had a 500 and they had a 1200, and I was saying, wow, that's much better than mine. You got a lot more. So when I went into George's house first, I think Guillotine was the second track that I heard him messing around with. And it was the little scratchy bit in it that really caught me. And I was like, what? You've got to bring that out more. And just had a little word with him in a few bits and pieces. But he did the most of that work. The structure was already there. Yeah, I just asked him to form it a bit and try this and put this bit in there, which he did do. And then, yes, Ben and Ray, they were already talking with Ben and Ray because he had already had 2 releases out with Rugged by the time I met them.
Where was Ray working? Ray wasn't working at the shop in MASH. No.
Where was he?
You're talking about Ray with the locks.
Ray was the one with the locks, and Ben was the white guy with the shorter hair.
Yeah,
yes.
Where did Ray work?
I know that he was in Camden as well.
Huh?
I know he was in that little one in the basement in Camden as well. There's a little shop in the basement.
Okay.
He was in there, but I think that was later.
Okay.
But when I first met him, I'm not sure where he was working when I first met him.
Picking up Rugged Vinyl,
Yeah, man,
if you know
Ben and
about
Ray.
your hardcore jungle drum and bass, then you know about those days.
Those
That
guys
tune
there.
was.
He'll spin it later. You'll know what tune it is. He'll spin it later. But I then had 2 releases on, one with Lucky Spin, Justin, a Sasha,
Under
and one
what
with
name?
his on Lucky Spin. I was under on DJ Recordings. I was under Assault and Battery. I did a tune on DJ Recordings. I think it was their second ever tune on DJ Recordings. And on Lucky Spin, I was, oh my God, looking at the label, I was, oh my God, I'm not going to remember. You know what, I'll have to pull it up on Discogs.
I've done that so many times.
Pull it up on
I've done that so many
Discogs
times.
and have a look at what name
just-
it was then. I'll tell you what though, quickly. I won't say the name. But a big person in the scene then put their name to my track about 10 years later.
What?
And I see it saying, my track, done by so-and-so. Now, hold on a minute, he never did this track. That's my track. And I went on to Discogs, and if you go onto my Discogs, you'll see, I think I put a little writing up there, and I said, this track was done by me. Like, anybody can come forward and tell me that it wasn't, that they did it, but this track was done by me on Lucky Spin. And
I think there was a lot of skullduggery back in the day because there was no real foundation. I think the great thing about the movement then was we were independent.
Yeah, very much
But I guess it's the same now for the youngsters. If I draw a comparison to, if you're DJing and you're doing what you're doing, I think a lot of people want that kudos of, well, if he's playing there, why aren't I playing there? Well, if he's got a manager, if I get a manager, then I'm going to get on there. And actually, the whole, do your work and coming through the ranks seems to have eluded a lot of people. And it just seems to be a fad. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying about everybody. But I think it's really important that you earn your stripes. And you need to not be a one-trick pony because you need to be versatile. That's why when I was signing Blade Runner and the likes of Serum and the likes of Voltage, I knew that they could do other things. I knew that they could do a jungle record, a jump-up record, a tech record, a liquid record, because it's about production. And if you pigeon yourself into, well, this is my sound, well, what do you do when everything's changed? Do you see what I'm saying?
It changes.
And I just think all of these, not unless you're a reputable manager and what, you've got some kudos and you've put people on the map that you could say that's your manager. I think sometimes, get to a point where you're doing the hard work yourself. And listen, I think it's like for all of us that are still here, we all manage our own destiny and curate our own destiny. And I think that's really important. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then what happened after that? So you had a couple of releases, you had the Lucky Spin, you had the DJ Recordings, and if you know your history about jungle drum and bass, again, those were seminal points that labels came in. I mean, Babylon, Splash, Daz, Cheese. You know what I mean? Again, that's another record that I class as SMF. Guillotine, in my time frame, and this is personal to me. That would be, oh my God, this tune. And I went on to remix that tune. Do you see what I'm saying? And Trace did as well. And actually, I listened to that the other day, and I thought, we badded that tune up because it was that sound, But when we were playing that Voodoo Magic, oh my god, and other places like it was a ghetto black tune that people loved it, as well as it doesn't matter what colour you were, because it was I think Daz is a white fella that made that tune. So that just shows you that jungle has no gender, no colour. It's a feeling of soulfulness, and when you hear that, that's just 100%. Ghetto. 100%. Here you go. Have that in your face, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they kind of get misconstrued that it's it's for the love of black music with black music influences. 100%.
Yeah.
And I think what was in my book as well, which I tried to put across, Rips, was it gave us all a platform from the ghetto, like yourself, like myself, like Daz, like whoever, like Trace, another Badman producer, to come through and make that tune and have a contribution to that type of music.
Yeah, no, without doubt.
What was the first couple jungle tunes that you heard that kind of had a major influence on you?
You're testing me now. Wow.
Did you go on any other pirate stations?
Yeah, I owned for a while, up until I started the internet, but I owned Rinse FM with G and Slim.
Shut up.
Yeah, Pressure FM and Rinse FM. Me, G and Slim owned Rinse FM all the way up.
You never told me that.
Yeah. And you know what? My nephew is part of Roll Deep. My nephew, DJ Carnage. And he wanted to do a book. And he said he wants to do it with me. He said, I'm the only person he wants to do the book with. Because... you see, Pay As You Go and Wiley and all them, they used to pay me subs on the radio.
No.
Dizzy Rascal, all of them.
On Rinse?
Yeah, on Rinse. They used,
but that's what I'm saying. And this is what's great about it, because I knew today, I said, let me call you and let me just get you down here, because we've got the party on Sunday, and I thought this goes deeper, and this is live right now. So now you're knowing history. But yeah, you should write the book, and I can help you with that.
Yeah, well, if he wants to do it, then...
because this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that work behind the scenes and don't necessarily get the kudos or the adulation or even want it. You just get on with it. It's funny because I was talking to Brett and Sting, and they were saying to me that Deja Vu's their station. Yeah. A lot of people came through them.
A lot of people
came through them as well.
Yeah.
If you've just joined us, it's The Blueprint. I'm sorry about earlier on. We had a major crash with the computer. This is Rips. He's got a dance coming on Saturday, informal. He's one of the unsung heroes of jungle drum and bass. He's also undeniably one of the earliest producers that I listened to, SMF Guillotine, that changed my life on rugged vinyl and that sent us on our way. I mean, if I didn't hear that tune, I would have had a different perception on what was going on. Bridget, I play that tune. I play that tune now in the dance.
No, I know you love it because you asked me if I still had
and then I found it on my computer and I was like, where did this come from? But I wasn't complaining. And then I gave it to my daughter's low selector to play.
Amazing.
So, please keep sharing the show. This is about the history of jungle drum and bass, jungle techno, and how we move forward. And all of these guys had a contribution within the music of what's been going on. That's nuts that you used to own Rinse, bruv. How would I not known that? Well, maybe because you're quite a humble guy, so you just was getting on with it.
Yeah, we just got on with it. I got to take my hat off to G and Slim because they were younger than me, and I started going on the roofs with them to make sure the radio was on. Slim was like if there was a crackle, you had to go on the roof just to move something that much. Didn't want a crackle on the radio, so those guys were in it. I take my hat off to them, and all people like Flight, Stamina, all of those used to be on the radio. All of those used to be on it. And like I said, with the Pay As You Go, because Wiley and all that started to do the grime, and we used to stop drum and bass on a Sunday at 3 o'clock, and it switched to Pay As You Go, and they'd finish from 3 o'clock till the night time.
They were massive.
Yeah, they were absolutely huge. I think I made them their first ever dub plate, and give it to them their first ever Pay As You Go dub plate, and. Yeah, all of them. Wiley, they used to cram into the studio, one mic, 3 hours, not one breath. Next one. And they kicked it so much so that When I split with them, I said to them, look, I'm getting too old to go on roofs. My little daughter's, I'm taking her to nursery and she's pointing at the 3 flats going, Dad, is that the roof that you're going on? Oh, shh. You know, I said, I can't do this anymore. So the drum and bass people that were still on the radio, I said, look, I'm going to look on starting this internet radio. I went and done a show where Rinse is now, I think, in Brick Lane on a radio called Guy Alive. And they used to do all kinds of music and had one drum and bass show. And I went up there with a friend. When I did it, I started asking questions. How are you doing this? What do you know? They were saying, you need 3 computers, you need this, it costs a fortune. And I went away thinking, I haven't got that kind of money. And I realised then, you could do it with 1 computer, you could still do it. Maybe not have as much to monitor and all things like that. But so we got ourselves a studio. I said to the guys, if you're coming with me, because at them days, we had to have BT phone line, we had to pay business rates because we was in a proper place. And we just started 2002, went live, and the same month we got 2 gigs in Austria. So from in the first month of coming live, we went, what? And we were giving, wow, what is all this about? Like you can, and yeah, to this day, 20 years, the radio, we've moved 2 studios and now we're remote. We don't have a studio anymore. Everyone plays from home. We've got guys playing Poland, guys play from over, but everyone plays from home now.
What's the website for that, please?
It's drumandbassworldwide.co.uk. Or you can just put in dmbww.co.uk and you'll find us there. We, like the guys here, we're on Twitch, YouTube, no, not on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Mixcloud. You know, it's like you say, the technology's moved on so much now. And if I went through, I've got a few pictures, really bad quality, because we didn't have the proper camera phones then, but you've been on the radio, Hype, Randall, all the guys, Kenny Ken, they've all
Wicked
passed through at some point. Yeah, come through and played for us really well. Down to the people like Ash has been on there many times. We've had A-sides, people like that, and all have all come through at one point. I take my hat off to all of them.
Going back to your jungle tune that changed your life that you heard, just
where am I going?
Just any that
I'll
you
tell
love.
you something
or
like
maybe
Paul Ibiza Records, things like Browning, me love me Browning, me love me money and ting, because that still had the 4 to the floor in it as well.
Right.
But it had the breaks
What label was that?
Ibiza Records.
Okay,
Ibiza Records. Because that was still at the 4.
So that was either Potential,
around them days
or
there.
Terry T, all of them lot.
And it was even
Third Party.
Yeah, Third Party. The hardcore, just anything that came out of the house that had the breaks in it, because it was a bit of like hip hop breaks as well. So, and like I said, where I was always loved drumming, anything with breaks in it. Just took,
That's what I used to do. I used to drum at school.
Yeah. I did up to grade 3.
I've got my drum kit, and that's how because I just have a love for breaks. And obviously, one of my good friends is Pogo, so from the London Posse. So when I was putting on parties in Colchester, I used to book them, man. And there was 2 brothers called the Mackenzies, and they were like Essex's equivalent of what was going on in London, but they were bad. Okay. And there was another mate of mine called Bainey, and there was another geezer called Tony Seeger, and these geezers were, boy, they were mustard on the decks. Do you know what I mean? So I used to book them, but in them days there, I was just sliding up the record and making it fit. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't trying to mix. I was like, you know what? I'm just enjoying the tune. And that was massive in those days, just to be out and drawing. But Pogo and I became really good friends, and he sorted me out loads of breaks. And I was a break hunter because of hip hop. Yeah, and that's why I used a lot of breaks clean before anyone else. I mean clean. You know, Renegade Terrorist. There were so many tunes that I would, and I had a way of manipulating it and making it clean. And obviously Gavin, our engineer, and as you know, back in the day, everything relied on the engineer.
Yeah, big time.
And he was we were the rough and the smooth, and he would sign it off for me, or you can do this or you can't do that. He was always saying to me, Ray, stop redlining the desk. And when he weren't looking, I'd just push it up a little bit, and then he'd come back, and then he'd look at me as if to say, I could just see it. I just got that look. Do you know what I mean? As if to say, you're going to make it distorted. But every time it came out all right,
Chris.
do you know
Come
what I
out
mean?
Chris.
This is all part and parcel of what we do. I'm sorry we got cut off. If you've just joined us, this is Rips. Yeah, this is the Blueprint, original SMF member, Guillotine. Are you still in contact with those guys?
You know what? I tried to find Jules. When you said to me if I could get that because you want to do another mix, I tried to find Jules. Naughty, Jules, typing everything, can't find him. Unfortunately, the other guy, he teethed said 7-inch records of my reggae.
No.
Well, I had lost them. I went and did a gig. And it was so good in Greece, first time I went to Greece, that I said I'm staying. And I stayed for 7 months. Went from the summer, moved into my friend's mum's yard in town and got a job in a club. And kept playing and stayed there for 7 months. In that time, a lot of my records went missing. A lot of my acid house went missing. I've still got tons of it, but a lot of them. And my reggae went. And I never thought nothing of it until I'm hooked back up with the guy, I won't say his name, I hooked back up with him and went to his yard because we said, let's go and do a tune again. And he said, yeah, I got reggae. And he's pulled out all my sevens, right? And whenever I went cold, Ray, when I saw them, right? And I've gone, these are mine. And he went, I thought they were my dead cousin Pat left them for me, Pierre lies, right? And I went, no, I'm not even asking, I'm just telling you, these are mine. Yeah, but that's all good. They're mine, they're here. And I left, thinking we're still going to do it. Guy never came back. Never came back. I never see him again. My last should have taken with me, right?
But I think as much as we have the highs, we have the lows.
Oh,
do you know what I
man.
mean? And unfortunately, in this business, sometimes you go to help people,
and
their movements. That's why when I said we got history, you looked at it. And I was like, you had history with this geezer. And it's like sometimes though, blood. You know that's not gonna. The universe will do what it needs to do. And look where you are here today, and you're still doing your thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, they're not even involved.
I've done no idea where he was.
Well. It's a shame. What does the legacy of hardcore and jungle mean to you?
It meant, along with sports, it just meant that I had a focus of I had no idea what was going on, any badness that was going on outside of the music we were doing. Oh man, I mean I wasn't a bad man. I'm not going to make out that I was doing this, but I weren't. But through my old man doing music, and I just saw the kind of people.
But it's your environment.
Yeah, I saw the kind of people.
You can see what's happening with people like us, and sometimes I don't judge my friends because I know I can't. Not unless I walk in their shoes for one day will I know what he's like.
Exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly
so I don't like male and females that they do things to survive. And right now you got to do whatever you can to survive. As long as you ain't hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that. That's real talk. That's real life. You look at what's going on now. It's tough. Bills, this, that, the other. Everything's going up. Inflation, interest rates.
The cost of living
and,
is just...
And it's just... We've just got to find a way. You know what I mean? You've got to keep going.
Music,
and, by any means necessary, as long as you're not hurting anyone. That's you've got to go forward. You've got to look after your family.
You've got to do...
I remember my mum and dad working 2-3 jobs to put food on the table whilst they were studying. Whether they're selling cars, my dad on the side. So we all came through that. But yeah, I mean, so it kind of saved.
It kind of saved me from because I growing up, like I say, running from skinheads, it made me laugh. I lived Cable Street. My mum tells a story now. I just tell a story. She didn't move into Notting Hill and that where a lot of the other black families. She went to East London. We were the only black family on my street.
Well, if you were living in Isle of Dogs, that must have been rough.
Yes, and then Cable Street, and I used to cross the road when I was young because of the skinheads coming on the other side, 4 or 5-handed. I used to just cross the road and walk on that side. But my older brother was a bit of a face, so I never got any racism, Ray. I'd be with my friends and they would get cussed, but they wouldn't say a word to me because of my older brother. So it was really weird that I didn't get that the racial and the having to hide and I felt bad for my mates. I think, why are you saying that to him? Like what? But they wouldn't say a word to me. So it was rough growing up around there. But again, from early, like I say, 14, 15, I'm doing my own music now. So I'm not on the street, sitting on the street.
Right.
What these
You've
guys
got
are doing.
focus.
I've got focus. I'm going down to where we used to do canoeing. I've got my BMX and I've got a speaker on the seat of the BMX and my turntable, and I'm walking it down to the Shadwell Basin and going into their container and sitting at the back and plugging my thing in with my amp on top of the speaker and sitting on a thing like this and just playing records. I had no idea what's going on the outside. Go out, have a swim, come back. I'm just playing tunes. As much as I could play tunes, I was playing tunes.
So that crossover now, because as you came in here, I saw your badge, and I know you put it away now. I was like, you're a teacher, and he went, what? I was like, I've got my badge on, right? And then he told me his thing is you're a PE teacher now.
I teach PE in primary school.
But all the time when, as the years were going on, you were doing a lot of work at community centres, you were helping about music, you were teaching kids about music, and along the way, like you said, music and sport have rolled
throughout my whole life.
Equally for you.
Throughout my whole
and also
life.
You're involved in football coaching and wow,
the
that's
football
amazing.
Club. Got a couple of teams, and like I said to Ray, the captain of my, which are now adult team, it's weird to call them an adult team because they're only 20 and 21. The captain of my adult team has been playing football with me in this club since we was 8. I was doing an after school club and he was there, big lad, bigger than everyone else. And one week, the group he was with didn't come into school, and I've had doing the football, and I see him out, and I said to him, do you want to come in and join us? Because you want to come in? And he came in, and from that day till now, he's still there, and he's still playing football, and he's captain of the team, and I've watched him grow up, and then boys grow up. And again, that's another thing.
That keeps them off the streets.
Keeps them out, keeps them off. We've gone through all the growing up with their parents at every game, now they're driving. You know what I mean? They're coming in, they've got better cars than me, right? They're coming in their cars now to football, and it's really, really,
that's
it's really
a beautiful
nice.
thing.
Really
I think something, if you can put something back into the community, which is really, really lovely, I think it's, and what you've done as well, like that, like going back to that, I know I keep going about that tune. No, but you, like, seriously, like in my arsenal, and when I listen to those tunes, just like when I look at my fond memories of playing at the Laserdrome, or like Peckham Innocence, or if I look at Wax Club, like that's history. That's where Andy started and how he had worked hard, and that's why we give him his props, because he played at an all-black club, and if you couldn't make them people dance, you weren't making anybody dance, because you get booed off the decks. Or the worst thing is the dance floor clears, and they'll show you you're not running, bruv. And he was running. He had to he had to dig deep. Why now have you kind of looked at it and brought back Informal? Why the name Informal? And give us your link with Marley Marl.
Right, so I had a shop, a record shop as well in '95. And big up Clayton and people like that, because they used to come and give me the records for under the counter. What
was the name of the shop?
Rugged Vinyl, because of Rugged Records.
What?
Rugged Vinyl.
You was running that as well?
That was a shop, yeah. Rugged Vinyl.
Mate, you're a dark horse, mate. Rinse FM, Rugged Vinyl. But this is what the blueprint's all about, because you don't necessarily know. I know Rips, but I don't know his history. And sometimes you're just like ships in the passing night. You play, you go, or whatever, and then you've moved on. And when you hit me up, and Marlon went, yeah, you know this, brother. And I'm like, and then when he went, I went, oh, Rips. Because I was trying to place it. My memory's so terrible.
The same way.
But yeah, and then bringing it back, I think it's really important that you've kept that kind of original flavour. But why now? What was the concept behind it?
I don't know. I must have just lost my senses, because I said I'd never do another rave again. So
as we all
really bringing it back. I don't know. I'll tell you what. It was probably a friend of mine, Junior. He was the link to the venue. And I know that he was trying for years to get me to go out to Ibiza, because they were doing the big things in Ibiza, but it was all house. And the family and all that. I can't just get, up and go. So I bumped into him again, And he said to me, he's doing nights down in the place in Shoreditch. And Macbeth, and he said, come down, look. So I went down there to one of his house. He does deep house. I went down to one of his house, and I said, yeah, it's all right in here, you know. And he said, I can get you this venue if you want to get this venue. And I went, so I wasn't really doing that. And he said, I can get you it, like, you know. And I went to another thing with my missus on my birthday and checked it out. And I said to him, look, if I do something here, can we just change a bit more sound? Because it was very house orientated. He said, yeah, you can bring in some more music. I said, sweet. Then COVID hit. So I had a date planned, but COVID hit and it all stopped. And I thought, okay. And then when we came back out, I spoke to him again and got the date in November. And I was still 100% like, what am I doing? Why am I going back here again? Why? But what made it possible was I spoke to Marlon, because Marlon had played for me previously in the other ones he'd played. And I love Marlon's choice of
Marlon.
school. Come on, man.
Love you, Marlon, wherever you are.
Love
big
his
man.
choice of when he draws as well.
He's, he's foundation.
As well. And people like him, like you, like Hype.
Thank you.
You came and played for me at a quarter of your normal rate, which I wouldn't have been able to get any of these dancers off the floor if I had to pay the proper price. No chance. No chance. So everybody came. Still now, to this day, Ray, you've come and you've made it possible.
Listen, anyone who goes 20 years back, and sometimes it's hard, but it's a pleasure because if I didn't come from that, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying about people helping you. Like, it's all about that foundation. And that's important to me. Yeah, okay, we go out, we've got agents, we're doing what we're doing, and that's business. But how did you get to business? Well, it's brothers like you, radio stations like Cool FM, Rinse FM that played my music, all the pirate radio stations, Origin, what's the one that Clarkey was on? And Nicky was on there for a little while as well. Was it Rupture?
Rupture was and Syndicate was around
Syndicate,
as well,
and all of them stations are so integral. Centreforce London, like it helped us to pave the way and do what we're doing. So I'm eternally grateful. But no, man, you're welcome. So really, you kind of fell back into it. But I heard the last one was banging.
You know what? It was really good. The sound system was a letdown, which is why we've moved.
Okay,
if the sound system wasn't a letdown, I would have gone back there.
Okay.
But
it's a learning curve.
Yes.
And did everyone enjoy themselves?
You know what? This is the thing where I was saying to the missus and to Marlon and to Illmatica that actually we did a show last night? Monday. Yeah, last night we did a show. And funny you should say about Splash, because we said one more track, anyone would do, and it was Splash. Babylon Splash was what was the track that they asked for. But
so you met Marlon.
I got in touch with Marlon, said about doing this thing again. I said I haven't spoken to a lot of the guys for, like you said, I'll keep myself. The radio just ticks along. I haven't spoken to a lot of guys, and he said to me, "Listen, if we work together, I can get the man in. I can talk to them. I can even know Marlon's a great talker. He said, I can talk to the men. He said, again, foundation, that was the words he was using. I'll use the foundation men. I'll get Ray. I'll speak to Ray. He loves you, Ray, as well.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. We live in the same town. That brother there, I've got a handful of people that I really, they're my people. Do you know what I mean? And they're not yes men. So if you're not on the right path, they're gonna pull you back in line. Do you know what I mean? And that's the type of friendship that we have. And I love him dearly. He's just a nice guy. We're all trying to better ourselves. We've all had tragedy in the last few years. Our parents dying, because that's the cycle of life. Do you know what I mean? So we support each other. So Molly Mar, wherever you are, brother, you're coming on the show at some point. I did try and get him down here with you today
as well. That would have been good.
Yeah. But I think like you, he deserves a show by himself. I can't thank you enough. I wanted to ask you, who would you like to thank who's helped you in your career?
Well, I'll start with the not name dropping, but like I say, I'll start with people like you.
Thank you.
Hype, all these people that came to the radio. You came to the radio and did your thing. You didn't. You were all big names already by then, and no one wanted money. No one asked me for anything else. Just, where's the address? Come up. I think you were on radio in Suffolk them days? That's how long
I
ago
would have
it was.
been on Kiss FM because Kiss, before it was called something else, and then Kiss actually bought some stations in Suffolk, and I was on.
Was on one of
I used
those
to go
back
to.
then.
I used to go. Oh God, I've forgotten now.
I forgot the name of it. No, I knew the name of it. You know.
Oh my God,
But
I
yeah,
was
those
resident there for a
guys-
good few years as well.
All those guys that made the events possible, and it's all those guys that have played for us. They made the events possible, so they opened up another door.
And what were the events called?
Well, I had Informal, which was my biggest one. We had one called Swarm, which we did in a few small bars. We did it in Camden, we did it in Herbal, we did it in an Informal in, I don't know if you've heard of a club called Raduno. It is Fabric. If you're queuing up to get in Fabric, here, you'd queue past the door, and upstairs there was a club called Raduno. It had 3
It was
floors.
a drinking bar downstairs.
Downstairs was the drinking bar.
And it
We
was
did
always
that.
open. Yeah. What
We
was
did
it like in
that.
there?
It was, you know what, nice sound, small rooms, 2 floors. And again, I brought in my nephew from Roll Deep, and he did his house, and my other nephew does R&B, so they had the top floor.
Wow.
They did a bit of house and R&B in there, or grime and R&B. We had the drum and bass in the second, and again, Fats, all them guys came, and they represented, and Top Cat came, him and Top Cat and Tenafly before he passed. So so they
R.I.P.
came and
to Tenafly,
represented.
wow.
You know, so all these people, I've got to take my hat off to all them. I've got to take my hat off to people like Mr. Dark One, who's still with me now on the radio. He's my technical guy. He deals with all the internet. He deals with all the account stuff that we have to have for Facebook, for this, for that. Proper technical guy. Couldn't do it without him. Got to big up Mr. Fury, who's just left us after 15 years. And the guys on the radio that are still there, that's been there. Wacko, you know Wax. You know Wacko still plays on the radio.
Wacko used to be over working at SRD.
SRD, and that's where I met him.
No.
Right, from having the record shop, Ray, we had just opened up. About 3 months later, Eastman opened up his record shop for Cool FM. Yeah, so we had, and I remember I had ordered some promos, and they said to me, "Oh, sorry, we had a mix-up. The promos won't get to you till Monday." So I phoned up the guy, Neil, I think his name was. I was talking to Wacko on the phone, never met him. I said, listen, I'm a new shop. If I don't get those promos, they're going to be bought from Black Market. Come Monday, everyone's going to have them. That's not going to help me. I've only just opened up. I said, can I come up and get them? He went, no, the SRD's not open to the public. I said, let me talk to your man. I spoke to the guy in charge. He said, you know what, come up and get them. As I went into SRD, I've got my box, and as I'm walking out, then someone, excuse me, who's Wacko? That guy there. I turned around and I was shocked because I thought Wacko was a white guy. I found his folk on the phone.
Yeah.
And I seen him, that's Wacko. I went, yeah. When I went to him, I said, listen, man, big up, because you don't know me, and I'm down the phone to you, go, where's my dad? And you've never ever hung up. You always dealt with me, and dealt with me until I got sorted out. So big up. And that was 94, 95. And
So that
I was in his yard Friday, went up his yard, we did the show together in his yard Friday.
Wow.
And still
But this is what I'm
there.
saying. These are the friendships, and people won't know these nitty gritty or underground vibes of the connections, because
where they
all of
were
these
made.
guys had a part to play. I used to.
yeah.
I mean, Rico's still my label manager.
Which Rico?
Rico at SRD.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
really? Oh, my
I speak to Rico every other week, bro.
Gee, he's
Come
a
on.
Penguin. Did you ever remember Penguin? He used to work in the
But listen, I knew
warehouse.
John
Oh, my
Knight when I used to
God.
go up there, and I used to go up there on a regular, and I know all the boys. up
Yeah,
there.
because they used to do interviews up there and all, didn't they, with the label
So,
people? Yeah,
John,
man.
but yeah, I mean, Rico's still my label manager
Wow.
for Dread.
Wow.
So he, and everything I do, he oversees.
Tell him I said hello. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, wow. Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna call him and see if he can come out on Sunday.
Yeah, bring him. That'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
So we're going to play some records now. We're going to
Okay.
play some old school jungle. I'm going to read out some of the feed. We apologise for everything crashing, but it was the internet. If you've just joined us, this is The Blueprint. This is one of the unsung heroes from jungle techno and jungle drum and bass, Rips. He's got a night on Sunday night, Informal. Where's the venue?
The venue is the actual name of the club. Now the club asked us, why is everybody calling it the Arch? Because Ilmatica, when I said to him, the name of the club is the Bermondsey Social Club, he said, sounds like a bingo hall.
Right.
So he said, we can't put Bermondsey Social Club on the flyers.
Let's call it the Arch.
So it is called,
Okay.
It's the Bermondsey Social Club. It is at Arch 19 in Bermondsey, which is...
Straight through the Rotherhithe
Straight
Tunnel.
through the Rotherhithe Tunnel. It's just on the other side. It's called Almond Road. Right, it's actually a little cut off down by the sides of the sat nav takes you straight there, so it's not a problem.
So tickets are available on Skiddle. Whole heap of junglists playing,
Yes.
including myself, Nicky Black Market, Ash Attack, Marley Marl, yourself. We're going to do a little jungle set right now to just kind of wet your taste buds,
Yes.
if you like, for a little tester. Thank you so much for coming down, big man. And I've just got so much information from you that I wasn't even aware of. If you want a hand with the book, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, I'll speak to my nephew again, and I'll definitely, if he wants to do it,
history has to be documented.
if he wants to do it, then I'll definitely hit you up on Ray. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
mate. Thanks.
I'll let you get ready and play some music. I think you're ready to go.
I've got my
Thank you
stick
very
on.
much for joining us. We're going to roll out now with about 45 minutes of some jungle tunes, and this is a little taster of what you can get on Saturday. Make sure you get your tickets from Skiddle for Informal. It's The Blueprint. Peace. This is Rips and Ray Keith live
Mr.
on The
Ray.
Blueprint, picking up my Thames Delta family. And let's play some tunes,
Let's do
brother.
it. Let's
I'll
do
move
it.
the chairs out of the way, old school. And
Picking up the voice to Ilmatica, Mr.
Yeah.
Moose performing down there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Moose,
Large up,
Ilmatica, Voice
Dark
MC.
Phoenix, Voice MC.
Yeah.
Dark
Dark Phoenix, okay,
she's
cool.
back to back with Lady Jules, and we have our man Yabba and my man Dark One, who I mentioned. They're all filling up the.
Okay,
I
wicked.
stepped aside. Dark Phoenix and thingy. They took my set. They took my
That's
set.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. Sometimes I did that one on my party and played last at our own party, and then I upgraded the girls that were playing and I put them on at 1 o'clock. You know, it's their time to shine. If you've just, I'm going to go and grab a mic, or hopefully the mic will magically arrive in my hand. Oh, I think it's here already. Yeah. Oh, there you
look
go.
at that.
Dorian's so on it. You know what I mean? Picking up my Thames Delta family. We're going to roll out some tunes. I'll just get settled in to do what we need to do. Thank you, brother, for coming over.
Ray, thanks for having me
No,
up,
don't
man.
be
I'm
silly,
glad
man.
I could shift around today in order to make it happen,
No,
man.
God bless you for that. You know what I mean? At
Yes,
last
man.
minute. Yeah, just go straight in.
Yeah, we
whenever
ready?
you're Yeah.
Oh,
I
let's
can
do
move
it.
this out of the way.
Cool, yeah.
There you go. Blueprint. Rips repping right now. Please keep sharing the show. We just did a little interview with Rips. There's a night going on Sunday. Sorry, Saturday. I keep saying Sunday. What the hell? So this Saturday, informal at the Arch in Bermondsey. Check Skiddle for tickets. This is the type of flavour you can expect, 100% jungle. Whole heap of man performing, so it's looking good. Can I get some fire emojis and love heart emojis for Rips, please? Repping, you know what I mean? Send this one out to Neil. Hello from Sheffield. Picking up the DMP Barks, who's picking up Rips. Don't forget the Blueprint is here every Tuesday between 1 and 3. Doing interviews with old school, new school artists, talking about jungle, talking about D&B, MCs, DJs, promoters. If you've been integral to the scene, then expect a call, do you know what I mean? Send this one out to DMP Park, send this one out to Yvonne Nippers. Don't forget, get your tickets for Informal this Saturday. Some big tune, you know? Send this one out to David Williams. Come on, people. Send this one out to Neil Stuntman Barnett, who's loving the sound. Send this one out to Yeetie, Canadian Massive, you know what I'm saying? Please keep sharing the show. The Blueprint, we're live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Send this one out to Dwayne, send this one out to Julie, send this one out to Darren. Send this one out to DJ Warlock, you know. Picking up the Warlock. Send this one out to Darren Senior, hashtag Bristol. Don't forget hashtag where you're from, people. Let's get some love heart and emojis, please, please, please. Picking up Night Force Records, yeah? The sound of jungle. On the Blueprint, picking up my Thames Delta family. Send this one out to Julia Claydon. Send this one out to Lady Jules, who's playing on the night as well. Come on, people. We got the link as well for Informal in the feed, so click on the tickets. Bone Man X, you know, from back in the day to us. DMS, extend that chest. Send this one out to Julie Claydon, who says, go on, Rips. Send this one out to Miss Euphoria, hello from Tenerife. Surrender, retreat for me sound, come take over. Some jungle vibes on the radio right now. It's the blueprint. This is Rips Ripping. Don't forget Informal this Saturday. Some jungle vibes, 100%. Man like Nicky Black Market. Man like myself. man like Marty Marl. Man like Ash Attack. A whole heap of guests. Picking up the Moose, who's going to be MCing. Hopefully Moose is going to be on my set, right? So you're carrying on, Rips, yeah? Drawing too old school tune, yeah? Send this one out to Dwayne, DJ Dark One. Okay, he's on the night as well, that sounds good. Let's out selector. Let's out selector. So DJ Dark One says the first time I came down to the shop and bought vinyls of you, Ricky, I was 13 and that was in 1993. Jeez. Come on. There we go, them Sounds of Darkness, if you remember 92, 93, 94. Some jungle vibes. Don't forget the link for the feed. The link's in the feed, I should say, for Informal. Can you believe we are on episode 11? Jeez, I know this tune for a long time, you know. Picking up the original Ram Records. Picking up Luke Parker, picking up Julie. Come out of this and into that, some jumpy decks like the old school days. Picking up the Rips, we're live right now, busting to jungle in your head, you know. Send this one out to Neil Stuntman. Please keep sharing the feed. Some jungle business. It's the blueprint.
Some little technical issues, but don't worry about that. That was apparently some other mic feeding into our live feed. Hey, listen, it's all good. It's live. Do you know what I'm saying? What do you expect? Send this one out to everybody in the feed right now. Make sure you get your tickets for Informal. Bermondsey, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. Don't mind the crackles, you know what I'm saying? Some of the original foundation from back in the day. This is Ribs, picking up Informal, picking up Rugged Vinyl, picking up Guillotine, picking up SMF. Life-changing tunes, you know what I mean? Tuned in, it's the blueprint, it's Ribs representing some informal vibes, trust me. Don't forget, it's Saturday up in Bermondsey. Tickets are available. We've got the link for and it's in the feed. Please keep sharing the show. Let's have some love heart emojis, yeah? And some fire as well. Rips representative, shouting out to Marley Marl. Picking up everybody that's playing. I think I can hear Babylon Splash coming in. Just tuned in, this is the blueprint. This is Rips repping right now.
shall witness the day that Babylon shall fall. I know that all of you shall witness the day that Babylon shall fall.
SE01, special dedication. Special dedication to all the Oman. Follow me now, master me to follow me now. Yeah, you want special dedication. Special dedication to all the Oman. Follow me now, master me to follow me now. Yeah, you want special dedication. Follow me now, master me to follow me.
letting that music breathe. It's the blueprint as we take you through some big jungle tracks. If you're around on Saturday, get yourself around to Informal. And you're going to be hearing tunes like this, you know what I mean? Picking up the ribs, bringing up worldwide drum and bass, worldwide audio. Jeez. It's taking us right back, Rips, you know what I mean? Send this one out to Luke Parker, send this one out to Paul, DJ Warlock, what you saying, family? Send this one out to Julie Clayton, send this one out to Dwayne the Dark One Key, send this one out to Wacko. Send this one out to Marley Miles, send this one out to all the boys and girls that love jungle drum and bass. Let's go.
girl get haunted. That make the woman excited. I'll get haunted.
Remember when we used to chill back when smoking the blunt and sipping on the Heineken. Remember when we used to chill back when smoking the blunt and sipping on the Heineken.
That make the woman excited.
Remember.
Stop it and come back from the top again, come again, come again. That make the woman excited. Make the girl get haunted.
I hear some man a boy run up in the mouth and I go and I tell people about now bad boy no, bad boy no, bad boy no.
Easy up, brother, people.
All the way to that, we pick up yourself, we pick up yourself, we pick up yourself.
Don't must let this draw style, cause just touch you, I touch it.
Night I heard it screaming, loud was it there in the wall. And all the sleepless night for me, it don't do no good at all. Night I heard it screaming, loud. Night I heard it screaming, loud. Night I heard it screaming, loud was it there in the wall. You remember when we used to chill back when smoking the blunt and sipping on the Heineken.
That make the woman excited.
Remember when we used to chill back when smoking the blunt and sipping on the Heineken.
That make the woman excited. Make the girl get haunted.
If you just joined us, this is Rich representing on the Blueprint.
That make the woman excited.
Playing you some old school tunes, you know what I mean? We'll be done just after 3 p.m. today, as we started a little bit late. Picking up everybody in the feed right now.
The woman excited.
Remember when we
Don't forget,
used to chill back
Saturday night informal, Bermondsey. We got the link for tickets in the feed. Picking up the junglers from around the world.
So no one take it personal. Send for the new gun. Send for the new gun. Send for the new gun.
them boy.
Ah, junglist.
I want you watch them boy.
I want remix. 94 remix. Decade after decade. No sound play this special in the world. I'm the some little fool you can't follow. When you see road, why you want me? I'm the some little fool you can't follow. When you see road, why you want me? I'm the some little fool you can't follow. When you see road, why you want me? I'm the some little fool you can't follow. When you see road, I'm the some little fool you can't follow. When you see road, why you want me? I'm the some little fool you can't follow. When you see road, I want remix.
Now this is serious show. Some boy with the sounds is good. Now this is serious show. Some boy with the sounds is good.
I want remix.
Punch on one sound over so. Back up to the gate of the gun.
I want
Punch
remix.
on one sound over so.
94 remix.
Back up to the punch on one sound over so. Back up to the gate of the gun. Punch on one sound over so. Back up to the
I want remix.
Let love stay, let love keep on dabbing down the mention of you one day. I'm gonna play for your mind, and I am murderer. I'm gonna play for your mind to make you feel so fine, man. So nickel and dime a dime. Matica, 9 and 9. Matica, so much up on my spine every time. 16 and some, me carry over show lights and every time. The youth, them a carry oversized clip and carbine. Watch me now.
Ah, junglist.
Wanna send the people in there, they get to know them don't love crime. And if you commit crime, them call a 119. Ride the gears, and I come on them, you pop your waistline. You put a fire 16, you put a fire combine. It's you, I'm until I can't throw. Yeah, man. It's you, I'm until I can't throw. Yeah, man.
I want remix. 94 remix.
Punch on one sound over so. Back up to the gate of the gun.
I want remix.
Punch on one sound over so.
94 remix.
Back up to the punch on one sound over so. Back up to the gate of the gun. Punch on one sound over so. Back up to the punch on one sound over so. Punch on one sound over so. Punch on one sound over so. Back up to the
Wanna send the people in and they get some on them don't love crime. And if you come in crime, them call a 119. Ride the gears, trying to come on them, you pop your waistline. You put a fire 16, you put a fire combine. It's you, I'm until I can't throw. Yeah, man. It's you, I'm until I can't throw. Yeah, man.
I want remix. 94 remix.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. Good boy, pass on with a bite. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Good boy, pass on with a bite. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Good boy, pass on with a bite. Good boy, pass on with a bite. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy.
You don't know already some jungle vibes. Rips is just ripping the place to music. Don't forget Informal on Saturday night. Get your tickets. Please watch the show again. Singers went out to all the original junglists. Don't forget this Saturday, Informal. It's going to be popping. Oh yeah. I love this tune. This is MB as well, isn't it? Bringing up Marl on the MB, you know. We're going to go to about 3:10. You cool with that? Picking up Rips in the place, letting off two Ross tune. Let's have some fire emojis. Let's keep doing what we're doing. I'm gonna let the music breathe and play, you know what I'm saying? Picking up the rips in the house.